Okay, hello everyone. My name is Adam Wojakiem, and I want to show you a presentation about traveling, about explore the world. And so let's start with a few things about me. I'm a student of KPSW on KPSW University on the third year, and I love traveling since I was young. My parents took me for example, to Western Europe. And few years later, when I get used to traveling, I start to organize my own trips. And I hope you will enjoy the presentation. Okay, so at the beginning, the most important thing about traveling is that you have to be good prepared. If you go abroad, you have to prepare a lot of things about your travel, that to make sure that you will have not too many problems about it. And for example, like in here you have okay, we can go for example for some trip where it's all inclusive, but I will not think about such trips. I will say to self-organized trips. And so we always have to remember about to take our documents like passport. Okay, if you are going to UK, we just need, for example, ID. But for example, like Turkish people, you need passport. And students' card is also helpful that it makes you a lot of discharge. So remember about your tickets, flights, for example, confirmations for if you want to rent a car. Always important is insurance. Sometimes are problems about that, but it's better to have it than not. And if you are going to some places, you always should prepare some descriptions what you want to visit, because you can go to one place, and it's better to know what to visit, but not just go. Okay, if you like to just lie on a beach, your choice, Okay, most of the time I'm traveling with sleeping bag because I prefer a student's way of traveling, and it's like I often sleep in different places. Later I will show, you will see in which places, for example. And like, for example, if you are going by plane, you can take cutlery, but it made me just fork and spoon made of metal. But for example, you can't take a knife. And matches are useful, mobile phone to have connection with parents, let's say, or with other people. And also you have to take a first aid kit, like, for example, vitamin C, some medicine against allergy, fever, some painkillers, because if you are going special to the different climate, you had made some problems, and it's better to have some, for example, painkillers. And if you are going by plane, and if you are traveling just without your bag, it's all liquids have to be in a transparent bag and maximum 100 milliliters. And let's start about eating. Here is when I was in Lofoten in Norway. We were boiling water for tea and making sandwiches. Here is because I was in Oulu on Erasmus, and one Finnish friend teach me how to, when the wood is very wet, how to make it to start a fire. It's when you see on this photo, I cut it a lot of times, so it makes a much bigger surface and very thin, and then it's much easier to burn it. And then you have sausages and sandwiches. Here it's okay. If you wanna drink a tea, first you have to melt the snow, and then you can boil it and then make a tea. And I also love fishing. And here, if you catch some fish, later you may eat it or just kiss it and put it back to the sea. But from time to time, fishes are very delicious. So, okay, about. If you go somewhere, you're also swimming, And here is also in Norway, in fjords. The water were really cold, and it was in June, but it was like 10 degrees in the air, so water had maybe 5. But yeah, later I had to go to the creek because water in fjords is salt, so I have to wash over the salt from myself. And here is Lake Inari in Finland. It's like, when I was swimming there, it was minus 33 degrees. And it was after sauna. And when you are going to swim in such weather, you have to have on yourself 2 things. First is your hat, because through your head is going 70% of your heat. And the second thing is socks, because when we were running to the lake, our feet could frozen to the ground. So, and even the next day we had to go and pick up our socks from the ground because it was frozen. But those 2 things are very useful when you are swimming, when it's very, very cold. And about sleeping, we can sleep in different places, like for example here in a shelter in some national park, or like in here. Here it was also a funny situation because it was like in Oulanka National Park in Finland, and we were 4, and we saw a very nice bridge, and we crossed it, and our path was in another direction, so we missed our way. And after several kilometers of walking, we should find our shelter, but it wasn't. And it was very dark, so we finally decided to sleep in this place. It's like just for when you are tired during the day, you are going there, sleeping just 1-2 hours, and going further. And we were sleeping whole night, and it was like, okay, not everyone was sleeping because we have to, all the time one person has to be awake because there were like wolves and mooses around, so it was a bit dangerous, but fortunately nothing happened. And in here, for example, like very popular is when you are traveling, very popular to sleep in a tent. Down there, it's Black Sea on Ukraine. And it was very nice, also very nice trip because we were when we wake up, the sun wake up us, so it was really nice. And most of my nights looks like that. It's on an airport in Bergamo, and it's very nice ways of sleeping. Okay, and when you are going to if you know that you will sleep on an airport, first check if it's possible to sleep on this airport, because some airports they are closing before night so that you can enter, so you can sleep. And there are a lot of web pages that you can find if it's possible to sleep or where is the best place where you can go. Choose the location. On some airports there are like sleeping area that you have to be there if you want to sleep. They sometimes dim lights or just find a quiet place on a sidness. Now the best places are with electrical outlet, because everyone has cell phone, so it's, and sometimes there is also hotspots like Wi-Fi, and it's also useful, better way to spend your time on an airport. And also keep an eye on things, because airports mostly have guards, but it's better if you are going to sleep, just put your bag under your head, and the most important things, just put clothes in your, for example, jacket, just to have it close to you, and behave properly towards other people sleeping on the airport or to the crew, because we are everyone a human, and for example during the nights they are often cleaning the airport, so it might be a bit loudly, but they are doing their job, so try to understand it. And about traveling, since ages people were traveling by foot, and it's also one way of traveling. Sometimes you have to go through that creek, sometimes there is a lot of snow, and later it's like socks don't like it too much. And here is, for example, when I went through ferry, from Malaysia to Thailand. So we can also use ships or ferries, other kind of boats. For now, it's very popular just to travel with airplane. Some of them are big one, and some of them are really nice one. Here, this one is like Polish Dreamliners, so they stuck in USA. And here is a camper. I've traveled when I was in New Zealand. I've traveled the first time in this way of transport, but it's very, very nice because you can sleep in there. You have kitchen, you have fridge, so everything what you need is just in one car. And wherever you go, you stay somewhere. Just go sleeping. You go farther. Very nice thing. Yeah, and this is the picture which every driver would love. Yeah, it's in Malaysia. It's like for 30 zloty, we got more than 15 liters of fuel, because ringgit is 1 to 1 zloty. It's like the same. So the price is really nice. Yeah, and in these days we have GPS, everything. Map is not so important, and you will get the point where you are going. Yeah, and very nice and popular is also hitchhiking. And here is when I was hitchhiking with my friend in Spain. It's a very nice way of traveling because you can meet a lot of new people and very helpful people, and it's always everything. You have a lot of things to talk about. Some of them, for example, like we were in Spain, I don't speak Spanish, my friend just a bit, and we were talking in Polish, English, a bit of French, a bit of Spanish, and they were saying in Arabic language, and more or less we understand each other, so it's sometimes big fun. And about penalties, because when you are going to the trip, you also have to remember that, okay, there are plenty of very nice things, but also when you are going abroad, you take a risk, because it's like the things are different than in your country. And for example, in here, in Singapore airport, you have electrical outlet. If you will use it, you have to pay a fee, $5,000. So it's quite expensive. But there were a lot of other electrical outlets. But this one was just important, for example, just a case, just this one, don't use it. There was a lot of different one which you can use, but this one you can't, so it's why big penalty. Here is, for example, like also penalties in air conditioning public places in Malaysia, because it's very hot in there, and if you will leave some piece of food on the ground, there will be a lot of bacteria and illness, and they don't want it. So it's why, for example, 500 zloty for even chewing a gum, eating, drinking, and littering, I think, is everywhere, and smoking. And also, if you are traveling, you are going by car, and you see some road signs, like, for example, be careful about monkey crossing, like about kiwi in New Zealand, kangaroos, or stingers in Australia. Stingers is like jellyfish, and it's the most dangerous animal in Australia, because every year it's like 10 centimeters, but it kills the biggest amount of people in Australia. So it's the most dangerous. Not crocodile or other animals, or snakes, just this jellyfish. So it's very very dangerous. And here also sometimes you may see some very different and funny signs. Like in here, like on the left is Kazuar, on the top it's like child with a penguin. It's in front of in front of Arctic Center in Christchurch, and down you may see Men at Work. And this is on the Australian car, because in New Zealand they have the same sign, but about Australian people. So, yeah. And here we are coming to the main point of my presentation, because I want to tell you about my trip from 211. I went to Malaysia, to Singapore, for a second to Thailand, Australia, and New Zealand. And yeah, let's say just about Malaysia. I think everyone more or less know where it is. And here you have the most important information about this country. Yeah, and the capital is Kuala Lumpur, for example. And here it's, I think, the most important and the most recognizable place in whole Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. It's Petronas Tower. There were a lot of movies about this place, like with Sean Connery or Catherine Zeta-Jones. So it's and it looks really nice. And the best place, for example, to shoot a picture of it, it's like just to lie on the ground and look up, because it's so high. It's still the highest twin towers on the world. So yeah, and during the night it looks much better than during the day, like in here. Here is wetland park on Langkawi in Malaysia. It's on an island, and you have, for example, you can see monkeys there, rainforest, or eagles. Here is Batu Caves, close to Kuala Lumpur. It's like a Hindu temple. Very nice, a lot of steps, and a lot of monkeys in there also, because tourists came there and feeding them, so they have very nice place to be. And we had such a situation that monkeys sometimes work like gang or something like that, because, for example, one or two are staying in front of you and dancing or quarreling with each other, and when you are looking at them, the third monkey coming behind to you and pick your, for example, if you have some food in your bag, yeah, they pick it and they stole it. So it's like very strange experience for us. It was. Yeah, and here is Chinatown in Kuala Lumpur. In some places it's like still in 70s, but generally I prefer this kind of places than where it's all exclusive and something like that. Here you can see real nature, not nature, but real society, really how the country looks like. So it's really nice, and no one understands each other. You just show what you want, and often if you get it, you are still don't know what is it. So. And here, yeah, for example, the mill, it was, let's say, eatable. And here, for example, on Langkawi, because in Malaysia, the food is very hot and spicy, and you cry even, but it's very good cleaning the nose. And here is the fruit, durian. My friend said that so many people who hate it for a smell love it for a taste. Personally, I tried it. I can't say it if it was so tasty, but the smell is really horrible. And if you will eat it in public place, it's like penalty 2 times bigger than for everything else. So it's better don't eat it in public place. Yeah, and cockroaches like 7 centimeters. So also nice animals. Okay, let's talk about Singapore. It's on the down close to Malaysia. It's just a city, and the most important things. And most of the people who are living there are people who came there from China. And when I was there, my friend, and she showed us the city. And here it's the best airport in the world, Changi Airport. It's, yeah, you can see it, how it looks like, and it's one just terminal, and it's really beautiful place and the best. Yeah, you have their showers, you have their carpets. Okay, not in this place, but very comfortable place to sleep. You have free internet, Wi-Fi. Yeah, and when we went to the city, it's at that time it was Formula 1 preparing. Yeah, here is also the famous building in Singapore. It's Marina Bay Sands. Really, view is really amazing when you look at it, and the best view is at evening when the sun goes down and you are on the top. It's really, really nice view there. Okay, and it's also eating there. I've tried to use the sticks, yeah, but let's say I ate my dinner, but it took me a lot of time. And here is my friend Xiao, who I met on my Erasmus, and she was showing us the city. And she took us to a Hindu district, and it was like in a restaurant. We get a piece of banana leaves, and it was like as a plate. And we get a rice in the middle, and we get a lot of cups with some meat, with some sauce. And you just take what you want and mix it with your fingers on a plate, yeah, and then you are eating it with your hands. But they're very nice also, and very tasty food, I have to say. Okay, in Thailand we were just for one day because we were close on an island, so we just make a one-day trip to Thailand and not to a very popular place. We went to Satun. It's on the south of Thailand, and it's, yeah, you will see on the pictures. It was very small, nice place, but really nice. And you have some temples. Yeah, it looks like the city center, and here, yeah, is also some parts of the city. So it's like looks like 70s and movies with Van Damme or another actors. But generally very nice place. Not so many tourists. When we came there, a lot of people wanted to take a picture with us because we were like something new because we were white. So it was like really nice experience. Yeah, and here if you wanna drink Fanta, Sprite, yeah, or Coke, it's like in their letters. Okay, and let's come to Australia. Yeah, the capital is Canberra. Yeah, I think everyone knows where is Australia. And yeah, here is our first day in Australia. We were sleeping in Melbourne in airport. Yeah, and after that, it's also another place where we slept, and on this bench, and on the part on Manly. It's the most famous part of the Sydney. There's a lot of clubs, a lot of parties, and yeah, we spent several hours on this bench sleeping. And what was funny, it was weekend, and around 6 a.m. we saw like 200-300 people when entered to the sea, and they just were swimming together. So it was like, and okay, when we came to the city, like thousands of people were running on the beach, so they really like sports, and on very early hour. Yeah, and here you have Sydney Opera House, very popular. Yeah, when there's about Sydney in TV, they often show this view. And here you have Kazuar, before and after, if you hit him. Yeah, and here you have koala bear. It was funny because they told us it's very hard to see them, and we saw like 50 or 70. And I was 1 week in Australia, and I didn't saw kangaroo. So it was like, and they told that they are everywhere. So I can promise that they really are there. Yeah, and here you have also another one with a small one. And here is, okay, generally because I don't showing too many pictures of the cities, because for me almost every city looks the same. I much more prefer nature. And here is, for example, Great Ocean Road. It's like a tribute for soldiers who fought in Second World War. And yeah, you can just look on it, and it's really amazing for me, and I think you will like it too. Yeah, very high cliffs, and the nature is really beautiful there. Yeah, and here is on a great barrier reef, and yeah, we entered to the water and were swimming and diving, so also nice experience. And here about New Zealand, they have a lot of official languages like English, Maori, and also sign language. And the capital is Wellington. I spent there 2 weeks with a camper, and it was the best 2 weeks in my life. And you can see the time zone is +12, so it's like, for example, when we hear 6 a.m. in here, so it's 6 p.m. there. So when I was calling to my parents, it was like 12-hour difference. So for example, when they went to sleep, I was the next day. So it was really nice feeling. Yeah, and the first night in New Zealand on the airport, and we got there when there was rugby championship, world championship, and it was why, for example, here was a sleeping area, and they show us that we have to sleep in here, and mostly it was for people who came too late to go to the city center. Yeah, we came earlier, but we also wanted to sleep there because it was for free. And at 6 a.m. The guards came and say, "What a lovely day! Come on, guys, wake up!" So, yeah. And we went to the city. It was a very nice city, but unfortunately, half a year or maybe 7 months before, it was an earthquake, and you can see how it looks like. It was the first time when I saw such a place, and it's almost whole city center was closed because it was still dangerous to enter there. Yeah, and so we go out behind the city, and yeah, here some stunning view. Yeah, road sign Kiwi. It was also a funny situation in this place because the nature. Okay, maybe we didn't stop every 10 kilometers, maybe even earlier, but most of car accidents in New Zealand are because of the tourists who just stop the car on in unallowed places and just start to taking pictures. And we had that situation in here, that when we get out from the car and just wanted to make a picture, my friend who was driving forgot to stop the car, and when we looked behind, our car was going down on a hill. So it was like, but we cut it, and there was nothing happened. So yeah, but it was also, and we read about it and we knew about it, but it's really sometimes hard to remember. Yeah, and here is when we get to Arthur's Pass through the mountains, and here have Kia parrots eat our tires of our car. Because it was like we went out to take some pictures, and we came back. Yeah, we saw, wow, it's like a lot of parrots around our car, and yeah, it's like and they wanted to go with us. Yeah, but after a few minutes, yeah, they start to eat our tires, so we had to go out from there. Yeah, and here it was the first place where we slept during our trip. Yeah, and here is a rainforest, really nice one. And here is Franz Josef Glacier, and the next one is Fox Glacier. It's very popular glaciers because they are so strong that they enter to the rainforest, as you can see on the left, on the right. It's really amazing that because it's like plus 20 in here, yeah, but it's still glacier. It's melting very fast, but it's also coming down very fast, so it's why it's stay in a rainforest. Yeah, and here is also some view. If you saw Lord of the Ring, yeah, so it's like maybe you know Rohan. It was the movie was the film in here. Yeah, and here is a west coast. Yeah, and we are going again through the Alps. Yeah, and it's Queenstown, very nice place. And here is Milford Sound. It's also very popular touristic place in New Zealand. It's like a fjord, yeah. And then we went to the south of New Zealand, and it's like Bluff of New Zealand. It's very on the south. It's like 46 degrees. So just farther is Antarctic. So, or maybe some parts of South America. So, and here is back again East Coast. Yeah, here the highest mountain you see, and it's Mount Cook. Lake Tekapo. Here we also swam there, and it was like 4 degrees water, but it was fun. And here we also have opportunity to get to the game in a rugby match, Russia vs Australia, and it was funny because New Zealand and Australia don't like each other too much. Okay, they soldiers fight together in the same company, but people, when it's going about sports, don't like too much each other. And yeah, a lot of New Zealand people were after Russian, and they also had a T-shirt like I support two teams, New Zealand and the one who's playing with Australia. So, and yeah, and there is no problem that people from Australia and New Zealand people are standing close to each other, and there is nothing. Yeah. Like not like on our football matches. And here is the longest name of the land. If someone want to try to read it, maybe. Yeah, 94 letters. So, and here you have mud volcanoes. I thought because I thought there will be a lot of geysers, and I was really surprised that they told me that there are only 3. And for everyone, you have to pay more than $100 to see it. So we decided, okay, we will go to another place, yeah, where you can see geysers, for example, for Ireland, and we didn't check there. And mud volcanoes are very stinky because it's like the smell is like when you have an egg, yeah, and it's lying too long in a place, so it's really bad smell. And the funniest thing, these volcanoes were in the city center, so I don't know how they are living, but it was. And here is the East Cape. We got 178 degrees, so it's almost close to the when you change the date. And also we wanted to go to ton, but unfortunately we couldn't because it was that day when we came, they closed it because they start to turn Hobbit movie, so we weren't lucky that day. Yeah, and here like our meals looks like. 1 month of the trip and 7 kilo less. Yeah, and here is hot water beach. There are hot spots, like hot water is going out from the ground, and it's like 62 till 64 when it's going out. And for example, when you see that empty place, there was water too hot to lie there. But in here it was just warm. And at the end, I want to show you also some nice pictures that also in Europe we have very nice and beautiful places to visit. So, for example, okay, it depends what you like, yeah, but on the north of Norway, and that picture was taken in June, so a bit depression you may get, but just to visit something new. Yeah, for example, Oulanka National Park in Finland. Yeah, it's Lofoten in Norway, and the spring is coming, and it was still June. Yeah, like in here. Yeah, here you have fjords with a village down there. Yeah, the Parliament of United Kingdom in London. Eiffel Tower in Paris. Yeah, St. Michael's Monastery in Kyiv. Yeah, Moscow and Kremlin. Also, it's like pictures from Catalonia, very nice place, very nice mountains, and there is close to Ebro River. Yeah, and Calanques in Marsilia, also very nice. And it's the funnest thing is that these mountains are even in a city, so it's like you're taking the city bus and you may get there. So really nice trip, even just for one day. Yeah, and Plitvička Jezera in Croatia, also very beautiful views and places. And thank you for your attention.